Hi, this is Sarah in Studio 304. In this video, I'll show you some more intense ways to retouch your photos in Photoshop. We'll use the spot healing brush, the healing brush, and the patch tools to remove blemishes or make wrinkles less obvious. We'll start with the spot healing brush. This is best for cleaning up small areas like distracting skin blemishes or moles, or you can use it to remove any small unwanted area in your photo. The usual rule of thumb for editing like this is that less is more. You don't want the subject of your photo to look unrecognizable or very obviously photoshopped. So look for the spot healing brush in the toolbar on the left. Just like with dodge, burn, and sponge that we saw in the last video, there are different tools all under the same menu. And you can get to the different tools by clicking and holding on the icon. The icon you see will depend on what was used last. So all of the tools we're using in this video are under the Eyedropper tool, this icon here. So first let's go to the spot healing brush, which is the first one there. And you'll probably want to zoom in on your photo to 100% so you can see exactly what you're doing. You can do that by either going to the View menu at the top and choosing 100%, or you can use the keyboard shortcut Command+1. So zoom in, and we'll bring it up here to the area we're working on. You want to resize your brush so it's as close as possible to the size of the blemish you'll be working on. The easiest way to do this is to use the square bracket keys on the keyboard. Just keep tapping until the circle is the right size. And then you can click on the blemish. The area you're clicking is going to look dark while you hold the mouse down, but then when you release it, it disappeared. Photoshop is automatically finding another similar area and cloning that into the area you clicked on, and then it heals around the edge so it blends in better with the surrounding area and looks natural. Now I see that there's a little, I can see the circle where I clicked there, so I'm just going to hit Command+Z on the keyboard to undo it, make my brush a little larger, and then try again, and that looks better. So the difference between spot healing and the plain healing brush is that with spot healing, Photoshop will automatically detect which area to replace, which area to clone in. So all you have to do is click once and it replaces that blemish or whatever it is that you're trying to remove. With just the healing brush, you have to pick the source, the part that you're going to clone in to the blemished area. So if you click and hold again on that same tool to bring up the other options and then choose the healing brush tool, if you just click, it's going to bring up this warning that you have to first define your source point to be used to repair the image. So click OK, and to define your source point, let's go up to another area that we might want to fix. You'll hold down the Option key and click where you want to take the source from. So click in a good area. Now you can still resize your brush. Now you can click and you'll see that the area that you've selected while holding down Option is now inside of your brush. And then when you click, it will place that area into the new area. So you'll have to keep Option clicking and then click to replace. Instead of just clicking in a single blemish spot area, you can also drag and do a larger region. So first I'll Option click in a clean area, and then you click and drag, and you might notice this small cross or cursor, and that's showing what it's cloning from, where it's pulling from. So don't worry if it doesn't look exactly right while you're clicking or while you're painting. Photoshop is going to average out the difference between those two areas and blend it in better. Be careful for details that might get repeated when you are painting. So for example, if we got too close to this earring when we made our source selection and then try to print over here, we might grab some of that earring there, and that's going to look strange. So just hit Command+Z if you do that, and just try Option clicking in a different area. to avoid any of those details. So you have to keep option clicking again before every area that you want to heal. So that's why the spot healing command is faster and easier if it works well for you, because you don't have to option click first. You can just click and spot heal and let Photoshop choose the source for you. Okay, now let me show you one last way to fade wrinkles. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and this time we're going to use the patch tool. Be careful when you do anything with wrinkles, because if you totally remove them, your subject will look very plasticky and obviously photoshopped. That's usually not what you're going for. So the patch tool is under the same menu as spot healing and the healing brush. So click and hold on that and select patch, the third one down. With this tool, you first select an area of the photo and then replace it with another area. So you start by drawing around the area that you want to replace, and this is called a lasso because it's just a free drawing selection. You want to make sure that source is selected in the top menu bar here. Then you'll click and drag on that selection. So hold down the mouse and drag. And the area that you drag to appears both where you're dragging and in the original location of your selection outline. So that original area is the destination, and the place where you're dragging to is the source. So when you think you've found an area you like, release the mouse and you'll see the result. It's kind of hard to see with that selection outline still active, so you can hide those lines without losing your selection in case you don't like how it looks and want to change it. So to do that, you'll go to the View menu at the top, and then you'll click on Extras to uncheck that box. So the area is still actually selected, it's just that those lines are hidden, and so you can see what that looks like. If you want to bring it back, you could just go back up to the View menu and choose Extras again to bring back that line. And if you want to deselect the area altogether so it's no longer selected, you go to the Select menu at the top and choose Deselect, or hit Command+D on your keyboard for the shortcut. And now let's try the other eye. So we'll again draw with the lasso around the area to patch, and then click on that and drag it down, and you'll see a preview. But if it looks a little strange, just remember that Photoshop will heal the difference between those two areas. And then to get rid of those lines, you can hit Command+H, or again, that was under View, and then uncheck Extras to preview that. And then if you think that looks a little too fake, you can use the Fade command for your most recent edit. So that's under the Edit menu, and right now it says Fade Patch Selection because that's the last thing we did. But you can use this command for any other pixel-based modification. So that means you couldn't use it for an adjustment layer, but for example, any of the healing brushes will have this fade option available. So when you click that, it brings up this box with a slider for the opacity, and when you drag that down, it makes the effect more transparent, so less obvious. So you can see if we took it down all the way, there's hardly any change, and if you put it somewhere in the middle, you can still see the wrinkles, but they're just less obvious. So that might be a way to take them away without making it look too photoshopped. And then you just click OK when you're done, and that is how to use the spot healing, the healing brush, and the patch tool in Photoshop.